Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego. It is February the 10th, 2025, and it's time for a morning live stream. I always do the live streams like at night, so I'm going to do today the Monday live stream. I'm going to do it during the day, and it's 11:48 a.m. Central Time here in the Panhandle of Florida. Karina's at work; she's busy working, and she got her green card last year in June. And next month, let me see here. Next year, excuse me, she'll be applying for her 10-year green card. The Mountain Nomads. Hey, Diego, what's going on, Mountain Nomads? So because I'm doing the live stream like in the early day, this will give people an opportunity in other countries who may not be able to get on the live stream at night because of the time difference. You know, we're in this big time difference. So it's after I do this, I'll go get something to eat and move on from there. And the Mountain Nomads, my scary visa interview is tomorrow morning at 7:30. Well, that's no problem. You can do this, and you're going to be at your in Casablanca, right? The Mountain Nomads isn't your scary visa interview in Casablanca. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Morocco. Now, if I'm wrong, go ahead and say I'm wrong. But that's what if I remember. Now, there's people out there that are asking me to process their entire K1 visa package for them. There's people out there saying they want me to process their entire green card package for them. Well, on a live stream like this, I don't have the time to help one person complete a complete K1 visa application. It's a lot of work. And I don't have the time on a live stream to complete a total green card application. It's a lot of work and it requires a lot of attention to detail. And any mistakes will cost you time, money, and maybe the green card or the visa. Okay? But YouTube, they have this program where you can create a members only place. So I created a members only place. So if you want me to process your entire K1 visa package, everything, if you want me to process your entire green card application, okay, the way I've figured it out, the best way to do it, to do one-on-one, is to create a members only program. So if you want me to do it, if you want me to process your visa with everything, then just sign up as a member. Okay. I will give you my phone number. I will give you my green card. I'll give you my green card. I'll give you my phone number, and I'll give you my email address. So if you sign up as a member, all right, it's like a monthly super chat of $9.99, which works out to be about $120 a year. So if it takes a year for me to help you get through to process everything, then it would have cost you $120. If you pay an immigration attorney, it will cost you about $6,000, $7,000. Who knows? But anyway, it's the only way I could think of to do this. The best way for me to help you one-on-one process your entire package, whatever it is you need, the paperwork, how to assemble the documents, how to get the police certificates, I'll even write a letter of intent to get married for you. Because you got to have letters of intent to get married from the beneficiary and from the sponsor. I'll do it all for you. Okay? But I can't do it on a live stream. I can't do it. There's no time. It will take me 4 or 5 hours, maybe longer. So if you want me to personally put your package together, your green card paperwork, then sign up as a member and I will do it. But otherwise, if you don't need my help other than to hang out with me on the live stream, then don't sign up. Just hang out with me on the live stream. The Mountain Nomads. Yes, I am already in Casablanca. I booked a hotel close to the consulate. Very good. That's good. You want to be close as you can. Now, when I was with Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, we lived in Bogota, Colombia. I lived in Bogota, Colombia with her. We rented an apartment together. That was about a 20-minute bus ride from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. If I had, I met Karina in Colombia. She is originally from Venezuela. So anyway, I'm glad you got close to the consulate because for us, it was the same way. We were 20 minutes away from the embassy. Flower photo and videography. Hello, I am K1 beneficiary and our case was received 94 days ago, November 8th. How many days will it take to get approved by USCIS? So let's see, you're a K1 beneficiary. So where do you live? What country do you live in? In order for me to help you, I need to know the country, because each country in the world has a different embassy workload. So you're the beneficiary, you received your 94 days ago. Your case was received at the service center 94 days ago. Well, it takes between 6 to 9 months to get the NOA2 letter. You're in Ethiopia. Well, excellent. Beautiful Ethiopia. We love everybody over there. Ethiopia, beautiful country. It takes 6 to 9 months to get an NOA2 letter. Okay? So you process the K1, your sponsors in the United States, he's a US citizen, filed the K1 visa application, you got the NOA1 letter, and then now you're waiting for your NOA2 letter. So it takes about 6 months, 9 months max, but the average is 6 months. So you sent 94 days ago, so it's been 3 months. And we're in February, so let's say March, April, May. So let's say by the end of May of 2025, beginning of June, in the summer's just getting warmed up, you will get your NOA2 letter. Assuming that your sponsor filed the paperwork correctly and that everything isn't good to go. There's no errors in the paperwork. Because what happens when the USCIS adjudicate the K1 visa application, just because you got the NOA1 letter doesn't mean that they don't find any mistakes later on. If they do, they'll just either send the case back to you, or if the person doesn't qualify for the benefit, they will send you a notice of intent to deny. But I'm sure everything's perfectly good with yours, flower and photo videography. Now, flower and photo videography, that sounds like you have a YouTube channel. Do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, then folks, check it out. Folks need to check it out. See exactly what it is you're doing. So let's say by the June at the latest, okay? That girl Curly, I like that name. Hi Diego, you helped my husband and I so much with all the information videos when we filed our K1 visa, and we will forever be grateful. Well, that's good. I hope you are happy in America, okay? It's a great country, right? You got an opportunity here. You could become a millionaire. It all depends. You could work hard, show up for work on time, put a company together, create a business, do something. You could become a millionaire. Look at Elon Musk. He was born in South Africa. He moved to Canada, came to the United States on a work visa. Then he got his green card because of his high intellect. And then he created a PayPal. And after he created PayPal, he sold it and bought SpaceX and Tesla. And then he bought Twitter, now X. And he's got a company that drills underground for tunnels, for subways and metros, I guess. Richest man in the world. Do you think he could have accomplished that in South Africa? I doubt it very much. And then we have Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's from Graz, Austria. He came to the United States back in 1967, I believe, on a work permit. He was sponsored by Joe Weider. When he got his work permit, Arnold Schwarzenegger teamed up with Franco Colombo, created a construction company while he was bodybuilding, and in 3 years, he was a millionaire under age 25. You can do it. People are showing that it can be done. But that girl, Curly, I am so happy. And Karina's at work right now, or she would be here with me, but she's at work. I'm doing the live stream early, okay? Red Rillo, how long does it take the work permit, Diego? It takes about a month to 6 weeks to get the work permit, as long as you filed with the green card application. Remember, you got to file the green card application and the work permit in the same box, okay? So you put the green card package together, right? Then you fill out the work permit paperwork, and then you pay the fee for the green card, the biometrics, and the work permit on a check. Don't use your freaking credit card. You're going to have problems if you use your credit card. the banks are not recognizing the charge. So write a check or a cashier's check, okay? And it takes about a month to get the work permit. You got to include the work permit and the green card application together. Now, when you pay for the green card application, the price includes the biometrics. So let's suppose you're filing for one adult, one person, K1, right? The price of the K1, the price of the green card application is $1,440. Okay? That price includes the biometrics. That price does not include the work permit. Excuse me, the work permit, if I remember off the top of my head, it's $260. So you can either write a separate check for the work permit and include it with the work permit paperwork, but you put it in the same box and ship it FedEx, DHL, or UPS. Don't use the postal service to mail your green card application. Don't do that. I buy stuff on Amazon, okay? You know, if I buy like an alien poster, like this UFO poster, if it got shipped to me by UPS, but no, Amazon delivered it. Amazon, I got it like in about 5 days. But when I order on Amazon and they flip the shipper over to the United States Postal Service, all I get is messages: your shipment's being delayed. We can't find the order. Do you want to cancel? I'm so sick and tired of the Postal Service. I mean, so when you write a check or a cashier's check for your green card application, use FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Let me see. The Mountain Nomad. So, Diego, my fiance hasn't filed for taxes, but we provide the W-2 and the check stubs and the check deposits from last year and the letter from the work verification from the company. Okay, well, you probably haven't filed your 2024 taxes yet because it's only February, and you have until April 15th to file your taxes for 2024. You have until April 15th to file your 2024 taxes, okay? But your fiance should have included the 2023 tax return, W-2s, tax transcripts with the application. You should, Mountain Nomads, you should have in your hand for the embassy interview your fiance's U.S. citizen sponsors 2023 tax return, W-2, pay stubs, bank statements, etc. And then all the bank statements and the pay stubs can be for 2024, but you got to have the 2023 tax return. Got to have it. Obviously, you can't get the 2024 tax return because it's still early, but you need the 2023 tax return. They want to see the last tax return. The same is true when you file for the green card. When you file for the green card, by the time you do that, if you don't have your 2024 tax returns or done, you file your 2023 tax returns with the green card application. You included the I-134 and the bank statements. Okay, but you need the 2023 tax returns to 1040. You need to, if you don't have it, you need to get on the phone to your U.S. citizen sponsor and say, you need to email me your 2023 tax return and your W-2s for 2023. Okay, let's see. And that includes the medical exam too? No, the medical exam is not included. This is what happens. You get to the United States of America, you're going to pay $1,440 for the green card and the biometrics. You're going to pay $260 for the work permit. And then here, it cost me $400. Okay. No, excuse me. How much was it? It was $175 for Karina's medical exam by a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department to conduct medical exams in America. When you get to the United States, you got to repeat the medical exam. You got to recertify the vaccinations. It's all done on 693. So you get to the United States, the first thing I would be doing would be printing the I-94. Print, 5 or 6 copies. Then I'd be going down to the Social Security office and applying for my Social Security number. with the I-94 and the passport. Then the next thing I'll be doing will be calling a civil surgeon in the town where I live and scheduling a medical exam. Let me see. I don't. How much does a medical exam cost? It depends on where you live in America. The medical exam for Karina in Bogota, Colombia was $400 for the medical exam. Then I paid another $25 because she was missing a vaccination. Then I paid cash for the chest x-ray. I think it was like $200, I think, something like that, for her chest x-ray in cash. I just paid in cash. No, I paid in cash for the medical exam, and I used my credit card to pay for the chest x-ray. So how much does it cost to repeat the medical exam in America? It depends where you live. That girl Curly, we are filing for adjustment of status right now and watching past videos of yours to help us. Good. Just wish we listened to you when you said to request an extra medical exam copy. That's okay. I mean, I've been telling folks over a year ago, 2 years ago, to repeat the medical exam or get a copy of it, because I knew it was coming down the pipe that eventually you're going to have to repeat the medical exam in the United States. I've been telling folks this for over a year and a half. Okay. But it's okay. As long as you get it squared away and you don't make the mistake now, get it done. You'll be okay. You're good. The Mountain Nomads. We don't have the 2023 tax return. I need to text her. You need to get that 2023 tax return and her W-2 copy. You don't have to get it certified, just a copy of it, a PDF copy. She can take her cell phone, take a picture of the 1040 and the W-2, and then crop it down, and she can email it to you. But you need that paperwork. Got to have it for 2023. I have the W-2 for 2023 and 2022, but no tax return for 2023. Got to get it. W-2 won't be accepted. You got to have the tax return, preferably the tax transcript. But you don't have time to get the tax transcript because your interview's tomorrow. So you got to get it done today. But the tax return on 2023 is not matching her current income. That's okay. She can prove her current income. My income went down. I relocated to Colombia temporarily to live with Karina. So I wasn't working. I wasn't allowed to work in Colombia. The Colombian government said you can live in Colombia with your fiance, but you can't work here. They gave me a 1-year visa to live in Colombia with a scheduler. I said, okay. So I didn't work for a year. Okay. So my income went down. I came back to the United States in 2023. My income went up. And then Karina got here January 3rd, 2024. So my income was down. Okay. But I filed my taxes for 2024 in 2020. I filed my 2023 taxes in January of 2024. So I got my tax return and everything done early. So my income was back up. If you can prove your income for 2024 with pay stubs, a letter from the boss, dear, this is on letterhead, the company letterhead. So-and-so has worked at this company for this amount of time. His or her income is this amount of money. Okay. And then have the boss sign off on it, or the HR, then you're good to go. You don't have to have a 1040 to prove income if you started a new job in 2023 or 2024. If you started a new job in 2024, that's fine. You just got to prove it. Bank statements will show the direct deposits going into the bank. So you get all the bank statements, you print them up, and then you highlight the deposits. You're good. But the tax returns on 2023 is not matching her current income. Well, that's okay, because you have proof of the 2024 income, because you just told me that you have, pay stubs, check deposits, etc., a verification of her work from her company. There you go. So her income is probably higher in 2024 than it was in 2023. I'm just guessing. That's fine. You're covered. But if you're getting confused, if you get stuck, then that's why you jump on the live stream, and then I try to unconfuse you and try to help you to get through it. But there's people out there in YouTube land who want me to completely do everything for them. They want me to complete their K1 visa package from A to Z. They want me to do their green card application, everything, the paperwork. Well, I don't mind doing that. I got no problem doing that, but I can't do it on a live stream. I can't do that. So what I've done is I've created a members place where if you sign up as a membership, I'll do everything for you. All you got to do is kick back and relax, and I'll do everything for you. I'll give you my phone number, I'll give you my email address, and then I'll give you an address where you can send me stuff if you need to send it to me, and I'll put your whole green card package together and your whole K1 visa package. I'll do the whole thing, and you will be at 0 errors. You won't have any errors. I've been doing this 11 years. I've helped hundreds of people. Okay, but you have to sign up as a member if you want me to do the whole thing for you. But if you just have questions, because you know how to do this, you've been watching the videos I've made. If you just have questions, then just jump on the live stream, and I'll be here to help you. So there's several ways to do this, okay? But like Karina's at work right now. She told me yesterday. She said people are asking, like her friend wants me to process the I-130 paperwork for her mom to come over from Guatemala. I said, okay. I can do that because she lives close by. She's about 30 minutes away. So I told her, I got on the phone and then I talked to her. Then I texted her everything I need for the I-130 paperwork to bring mom over from Guatemala on a K1 visa. It's actually a K1 visa because she's going to marry an American citizen, but it's her mom. I texted her everything I need. Well, I'm not going to put my phone number out here for the whole world to see it. So it has to be private. I'm not going to put my email address out there because it has to be private. So in order for me to make it private, YouTube said you got to have a membership set up. So I did. I set it up. If you want to subscribe to the membership, you can. If you don't, if all you need is questions like this, then don't. But it's, why would you pay an immigration attorney $6,000, $5,000 to do this? It's not a hard process. So anyway, let's see here. And that includes the medical exam. Also, what do you mean the medical exam? You have to pay separately for the medical exam in Casablanca. That girl Curly, I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. Johannesburg. I've been to Johannesburg, South Africa. I was very, very tiny. I was very young, but I've been to South Africa. I went to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Table Mountain. Beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. You just got to get a new government. Let's see here. That girl Curly, I understand. Don't worry. You got the medical done. Everything's done, right? The mountain nomads, we don't have it. Need to text her or get it done. Let me see. The mountain nomads, this is what the updated I-134 instruction says. The I-134 instruction is the declaration of financial support. The I-134 is what the sponsor fills out and the sponsor signs so that immigration or the consular officer at the embassy can see how much money you make and that if it's sufficient to be 100% above the minimum income requirements. Because remember, a K1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. It's a non-immigrant visa. So you only have to meet 100% of the minimum income requirements. But when you get to the United States, it turns into an immigrant visa. Then you become a permanent resident. Then you got to be at 125% plus. My advice to you is if you are $1,000 above the minimum income requirements, get a joint sponsor because they're going to ask you for one. Immigration. The I-134 is just a paperwork you fill out and sign so immigration, the consular can see how much money you make for the K1. Rohit, nice hat, keep rocking. You like my hat now? Now this was my landlord. Karina and I, we rented an apartment in Bogota, and my landlord bought this for me as a gift. It's a going away gift. we rented from him for almost 3 years. And, you know, it was a great opportunity for me to live in Colombia. And he was sad to see us go. He didn't want Karina and I to leave. And I said, listen, we're going back I'm going back home, dude. I'm going back to my house. And I'm bringing my fiance with me, soon to be my wife. And he was sad, and he had a big sad day. He was like, you know, not happy. But he gave me this hat as a gift. Hector Mercado, greetings, Georgia. Greetings from Georgia, Diego. Georgia's north of me, up this way. Hector, you got married in Honduras, so so far the wait time is 13 months. So Hector, you're on a spousal visa. Spousal visas take forever. They're twice as much work, but they're about $500 or $600 cheaper than a K1. The spousal visa is cheaper than a K1, but it's a big headache. You got to upload documents to the National Visa Center, passports, tax returns, letters of intent to get married, photos, all this stuff. You got to update. You got to figure out how to put it on your computer and upload it to the National Visa Center. It's a pain. The spousal visa is horrible, and then you got to wait forever just to get the National Visa Center to schedule you an interview. Because the difference between a K1 visa and a spousal visa, primarily, besides that you are already married in a spousal, is that you get the green card right away. In a K1 visa, you got to wait for it 6 months or whatever. But I tell you, Hector, you'll get it. You'll get through it. You got to maintain contact with the National Visa Center. You got to do inquiries with them. You got to stay in touch with the National Visa Center. Okay, twice a month, send an inquiry. What's the status? And then print it. And you got married in Honduras, beautiful country, Central America, beautiful weather down there. Rohit, after the approval of the I-465, how long does it take for status to show card being produced? Any idea? Well, it doesn't take long, about a week to 2 weeks. You're talking about you received the I-797 and you got the letter in the mail saying the green card's been approved. Okay, that's what you're saying, right? And now you're wanting to know when is the card going to get produced. Well, they get produced in Corbin, Kentucky. The green cards are produced and manufactured in Corbin, Kentucky, and then they will be mailed to you with a tracking number. How long does it take? It depends on how busy they are in Kentucky. But it shouldn't take too long. Not too. As long as you got the letter saying in the mail in your hand saying the green card's been approved, give it a couple of weeks, okay? Let me see here. The Mountain Nomads, copy of last U.S. federal tax income tax return file, tax transcripts, right? You need the tax transcripts for 2023 and the 1040. If you did not file a federal tax return, or if your federal tax return does not properly reflect your current income, submit copies of consecutive pay statements. Okay, let me, from minimum past month, let me explain to you what immigration is saying. Okay, let me decipher it for you. You got to show your last tax return to the consular officer at the embassy. You got to show it. It's a 1040 or a tax transcript or both. If you're going to a K1 visa interview in wherever country it is, you got to bring your 1040, your tax transcript, W-2, pay stubs, letter from the boss, bank statements, etc., to the consular interview. Okay? If you haven't filed a tax return in 2023, there's going to be a problem. Right? Let's see here. You got to show that you got to bring the 1040. Or else you're going to be put into a 221G hold while they wait for the 1040. So get on the phone to your fiance in America and get that 1040 from 2023. You got to have it. Let me see here. The Mountain Nomads, our income for 2024 is higher, but 2023, that's where we met and we spent 5 months together. Awesome. Well, that's excellent. 5 months together is good. That's a good amount of time. And I lived with Karina for what, 2.5 years. So I want to make sure that everything was good for her and good for me. You know, if you get on a plane, if you meet somebody online and you talk with them for 2 weeks, and then then you get on a plane and fly and spend a week with them, and then come back and file a K1 visa, and you've only known each other for 2 months, don't be surprised if your K1 visa gets denied. Just saying. Rohit, no, nice of him. Hope you don't miss Colombia. You both should go on vacation soon in Colombia. I love Colombia. I just didn't like being in Bogota because the altitude was so high. It's 10,200 or 300 feet above sea level. Okay, I have a hard time breathing when I go to 5,000 feet above sea level when I was in New Mexico. Okay, or in Albuquerque or Santa Fe. My body does not like being at 10,000 feet above sea level. But I was there for 2.5 years and I suffered through it. But I love Colombia. So what I would do with Karina is we would go on vacations as much as we could between Karina's work schedule. We went to Cucuta, Colombia. We went to Chahuachi. We went to Villa de Leyva. We went to Playa Blanca. We went to Cartagena because it's at sea level. I got down to sea level, but the Colombian people, we love Colombia. We love the Colombian people, and I want to thank the Colombian government for giving me the opportunity to live there for a year on a cedula. We should go to Colombia soon on vacation. We're gonna go to Colombia when Karina is a U.S. citizen. We're not leaving the country until she's a U.S. citizen. Okay. So when Karina goes for her U.S. citizenship interview, one of the first questions they ask her is, have you ever left the country? Did you ever leave the United States? And she's going to say, no, I've never left the United States. I have been a continual resident of this country and I've never left. They ask the question. I don't want Karina to have to say, well, yeah, we went to Colombia for vacation for 2 weeks. And then I got to print an I-94 for Karina for leaving the country and entering the country. And then she has to give an explanation of why she left the United States. Karina came to the United States to marry me and to start her life here in America. Okay, she's got her brother. She's got 5 brothers living in Colombia, Bogota. She got a brother lives in Brazil. Her mom and dad live in Venezuela. Her sister lives in Venezuela. All of her family's in South America, and she misses them. But she can use the telephone and WhatsApp and talk to them anytime she wants. Well, hey, Mom, what's going on? And I get to talk to her mom. I get to talk to my nieces, my nephews, and I get to talk to her family without leaving the United States. When Karina's a U.S. citizen, we'll get her a U.S. passport. Then we're going to go back to Colombia. And then we can stay as long as we want. We won't be at the mercy of immigration or the Border Patrol. Let me see. Simon Dada. Hi, Diego. Nice to see you from Casablanca, Morocco. Excellent. Morocco. They got some great food there, and there's some great restaurants in Casablanca. I'm always looking for good restaurants. I miss Colombia. I miss Colombia, and I miss Karina's family, but it is what it is. It's a process. Okay. And you're right, Rohit. We should go to vacation in Colombia. We'll do it when Karina's a U.S. citizen. Hector Mercado, I would gladly pay double if I could do it again and go the fiance route. That's the way to go. It's K1. Wait time has been brutal. Started at 23 months. The spousal visa is brutal. It's a long wait time. You're at the mercy of the National Visa Center uploading documents. The only positive thing about a spousal visa is you get the green card right away, and it's about $600 cheaper than the K1. But like you said, I would rather pay double and get this done with a K1 where USCIS does all the freaking work. With a spousal visa, the U.S. citizen does all the work. The different really is that on the K1, I scheduled the visa interview for Karina in Bogota, Colombia, But with the spousal visa, the MVC does it. Harold, wait a second, Rohit, once you have a green card, can you go out of the USA for a vacation? Yes, you can. If so, for how many weeks in conditional green card? I would say 2 weeks would be the most. Will it be okay or a problem? Rohit, it's not a problem to go on vacation with a conditional green card. You can go out on vacation for a conditional but don't go past 2 weeks, because you got to think down the road to when you apply for U.S. citizenship. If you're going to live in America full time, then become a citizen, right? And one of the questions they ask you at the citizenship interview have you ever left the country? You have to give an explanation. When Karina goes to her U.S. citizenship interview, they say, did you ever leave the country? Karina will say, no, I've never left the United States. I've been a permanent resident. She'll get her passport. Once she gets her U.S. citizenship, she'll get her naturalization paperwork. On her naturalization paperwork, it will say where she was naturalized, her alien number. Then we'll get her a U.S. passport. And then we'll go and travel some places. England, if it's not freaking raining. Okay, I'd like to go there. I'll take Karina and visit back to Colombia. Hopefully Trump does his magic and helps the dictator in communist Venezuela find somewhere else to go live. Because then I can go to Venezuela with Karina and see her mom and her sister and her dad. I want to meet her family. I've met everybody. I have met every single one of Karina's family except her mom and dad and sister. Why is that? Because a communist dictatorship is preventing me from entering Venezuela. You can travel on a 2-year green card, Rohit. I just don't recommend it. You want to have a clean slate going into U.S. citizenship. Clean slate, as in never left the country. Harold, hey, what's up, Harold? Hey, so Diego, I sent the package for the green card, but they sent me a letter about financial support. I forgot to include that in my packet, my taxes. But I did my biometrics already, so I'm scared I have to send the package again. Can I just send the taxes to verify my status of the above You mean poverty line, not property line. Harold A., when you filed for the green card and you didn't include your tax return and W-2 or 1099 and pay stubs and bank statements and stuff like that, immigration is going to send you an RFE, and they're going to say, we want to see the tax return, the tax transcript, the W-2, the pay stubs, the bank statements, the letter from the boss, whatever. You give them what they ask for, okay? So if you did the biometrics already, that's great. So you passed that part of it, no problem. But now they want to see the financial part of it, okay? The financial part of it is going to require you provide the information they ask for. If immigration says you got to jump 6 feet, you don't jump 8 feet, you jump 6 feet. Immigration said in the RFE, they said to you, they want to see financial support for your wife. Then that's all you got to put in there is proof of financial support. Why? Don't be scared. All you got to do is send them what they're asking for. You don't have to include anything else other than the financial paperwork they ask for. Okay? You don't have to fill out the 485 again. You don't have to do the 864 again. You don't have to do all that. Just send them what they ask for. All right? It's not difficult. So go round up your financial documents. Go find it, and then get it to them, and then put the cover letter on top. So you're going to have your tax return, your W-2s, and you put it on top. Harold A., I feel they're asking me to resubmit all the paperwork again. There's no feeling. Immigration doesn't run off of emotion. Immigration does not function off of emotion. They're the Borg. I don't know if you know who the Borg are, right? From Star Trek, they assimilate people and planets. USCIS immigration is the Borg. They will assimilate. They are cold as ice. They do not function off of emotion. Immigration functions off of evidence and facts. That's it. And beneficiary has to prove it, and the sponsor has to prove it. The only thing you're missing is the financial part. Provide the financial part. Okay? So get this emotion out of it. Immigration don't work off of emotion. Okay? Other than at the consulate interview. Let's suppose you go to the scary visa interview and your beneficiary is nervous as heck. She or he is a total nervous wreck and totally messes up all the questions, can't answer simple questions because she's having an emotional or he's having an emotional scaredy cat day. But you can't function off of emotion. You have to function off of facts and evidence. So you go to the visa interview, calm, cool, and collective in business casual clothes, and answer questions as you're asked and provide documentation as they ask for it. If you get an RFE and they ask you for tax, for your income, proof of your income, you provide proof of your income. That's it. Don't overthink it. Don't add to it. Don't create, a situation where immigration can see something that you put in there maybe would hurt your case. Immigration asks you to send them a pack of Twinkies. You send them a pack of Twinkies. You don't send them a pack of Twinkies and a box of a Kit Kat. You got it? There's no feeling in this at all. There's zero emotion. It's total iceberg. H Money. Hey Diego, how long after getting married can we apply for citizenship? Currently on the green card. How long after getting married? Okay, here's what you do. You look at the 2-year green card. Do you have a 2-year green card? And you look at the issue date on the 2-year green card. There's the 2-year green card. Here's the issue date. 3 years from the issue date on the 2-year green card, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Okay? 3 years from the issue date. But what you have to do first is to lift the conditions off of the 2-year green card. Okay? So you got your 2-year green card. You got the issue date. You look at the issue date. 90 days before the 2-year green card expires, well, it doesn't expire. It just goes away. It doesn't exist anymore. The 2-year green card has a shelf life of 24 months. Once the shelf life is up, the green card no longer is no longer valid. So you have to lift the conditions off of it 90 days before it expires. So you got your 2-year green card. You look at the issue date, and you want to get married. You want to become a U.S. citizen 3 years from the issue date. 90 days before the 2-year green card expires. So you come over to the expiration date. You check the expiration date. 90 days before it expires, you apply for the 10-year green card. So what if it takes 9 months to get or a year to get the 10-year green card? Don't worry about it. You file for the 10-year green card. They'll send you a letter, an I-797, notification of action and everything. So they got everything. And then let's suppose you haven't got your 10-year green card yet, but you've been married for 3 years. You can still apply for U.S. citizenship from the issue date on the 2-year green card. Even though the 2-year green card no longer exists, technically, it's been extended automatically until you get the 10-year green card. You got it? So you go to your U.S. citizenship interview with your 2-year green card and the proof that you filed for the 10-year green card. Immigration says, okay, you got your 2-year green card. You've lifted the conditions off of it. You're still waiting for adjudication. You can still apply for citizenship. You got it? You guys tell me you understand what I just said. Harold A. Okay, thanks. Listen, Harold A. Don't be running off of emotion. Okay? You got to run off of, you got to be like Spock in Star Trek, okay? Do a mind meld. You got to be zero emotion. It's pure facts and evidence. That's how immigration works. Okay? If you notice on the TV, watch the TV, and you see all these illegal immigrants having big pity parties because they're getting deported. I'm a good person. I'm not a criminal. You're a criminal because you broke immigration law. The minute you snuck into the United States illegally, you became a criminal. Okay? Well, I'm a good person. I paid my taxes. Well, how did you get a job without a social security number? So how can you pay taxes? It's all baloney. So when you see the pity party of all the illegals and all the crying and the whining, and they're getting put on planes and sent back to where they came from because they didn't do what you guys did and do the process legally, okay? They want to cut the line and not pay for the visa fees and get the medical exam. They don't want a police check done on them for whatever reason. They think they can come into this country and just live here and do and live like you guys when you get here without being worried. Well, under Biden, they had no fear. But under Trump, if you are in this country illegally, okay, it doesn't matter if you paid your taxes or if you're a good person. Immigration don't run off of emotion. They run off of the law. The Congress of the United States said under the Immigration and Nationality Act, I think it's like Section 8 or whatever it is, if you want to come to the United States, you got to have a tourist visa, a K-1 visa, a spousal visa, a work visa, right? A high achiever visa, whatever. You don't sneak in through Texas and get a job and you've been here for 5 years and think that you are going to be immune from a deportation. Under Biden, he said, okay, you can go in front of an immigration judge. I'm sorry. Where Biden ran off of emotion. He didn't run off of the law. So he broke the law of the United States. Biden was the biggest worthless president we've ever had since, I would say, I don't know, since ever, whenever. President Trump is now in charge. President Trump is saying this: if you came into the United States illegally, you have broken the law. You are an automatic criminal. If you do it twice, it's a felony. First time around, it's a misdemeanor. Okay? And he's going to send you home. You can cry, you can whine, you can say, well, I'm here, and you can have all these big pity parties. It ain't going to happen with immigration. Immigration pay no attention to the pity party. Immigration pays attention to what the law says. That's it. If I go 50 and a 30, I get a freaking ticket from the police, the sheriff, right? If I sneak into Colombia illegally, I get arrested by Colombian police and they send me over to the immigration detention center. They'll put me there and then they deport me back to the United States after they fine me $1,000. If I sneak into Mexico illegally, they put me in the detention center. Why is it that all these people around the world think it's okay to come into the United States illegally? Because they could get away with it. Not anymore. Those days are gone. It's over. Come to America. We welcome you. Karina, I'm so glad I met Karina. I met her in Colombia. She's from Venezuela. Beautiful, wonderful person, hardworking. And, you know, we dated for almost 3 years. We went through hell to get to the United States, just like you guys are going through hell. Visa interviews, filling out, getting police certificates, going to medical exams, paying for visa fees, consular fees, scheduling. It's horrible. It's a horrible process. It's stressful. It's expensive. Okay. And then all these freaking illegals just come in across the border saying, okay, we're going to jump the line. Well, you know what? Those people, they need to be prosecuted and deported. And I'm not going to cry about it. Not at all. Because of what we went through as a couple, Karina and I, we went through a horrendous experience. She went to the visa interview in Bogota, Colombia. Everything was perfect. I know how to do this process, ladies and gentlemen. And they said, we need an Interpol police certificate. She already got the visa approved. This was November 16th of 2023. We need an Interpol police certificate. I'm like, great. Karina came back from the visa interview, basically almost in tears. But I said, hold on now, time out. Let me see the pieces of paper you got. Remember, this is my expertise. This is my area of expertise. So she got the white paper and it said, well, congratulations, your visa's been approved. I said, you got your K-1, it's approved. But they gave me this other piece of paper. I think it was yellow or green. And it said, you're on a 221G. We need an Interpol police certificate because you've lived in Colombia for 6 years. She's from Venezuela. And she said, yeah, well, yeah, I live in Colombia. I don't want to live under communism. So I moved to Colombia to be free. Oh, we need an Interpol police certificate. That day, November 16th, after the visa interview, the scary visa interview in Bogota, Karina went to Interpol, the Colombian police, Interpol, and she applied for the Interpol police certificate. That within an hour of leaving the embassy. It took 4 weeks to get it. They did a background check on her from every country in South America and Central America. They did a complete, it took 4 weeks. Then it came back that she was never a member of the FARC or anything like that, the communist dictator, the communist terrorist. Well, let me shut this phone off. And she got her Interpol police certificate. We were in Colombia for another month. This is why you never buy plane tickets until you get the K1 visa in your passport. Okay? Just imagine if I had bought the plane tickets for Karina in November when the price was cheap, $300 one way. 300 for her, 300 for me. If I'd have bought the tickets, we wouldn't have been able to use them because we had to wait another month. So we got the Interpol police certificate on December 16th, right before Christmas. That was a miracle because everybody basically goes on vacation Christmas in December. I submitted the Interpol police certificate to the embassy in Bogota. The next day, her K1 visa was issued, and we went and picked it up at the place in Bogota. Can't remember the address. It's close to a crepes and waffles restaurant where we ate pancakes. So then I went and paid for the plane tickets to the United States, and we stayed in Colombia till January 3rd. So the plane tickets went from $300 a piece to $1,000 a piece. Right? Because it was Christmas and New Year's, and the plane tickets doubled in price, or more, tripled. So never buy your plane tickets before you get the K1 visa in your passport. As soon as you get the K1 visa in your passport, you look at it, there's no spelling mistakes on the name, then you buy your plane tickets, okay? So it's a difficult process, getting a K1 visa. It's a difficult, the spousal visa is even worse, a worse nightmare because of the time you got to wait. But once you get to the United States of America, stay in the United States, okay, until you become a citizen, or at least until you get a 10-year green card. Wait until you get your 10-year green card. It's difficult being separated from family. But the biggest conversations I had with Karina from Venezuela, we sat down, we're in Bogota, we're around the lunch table. I had all her brothers sitting there. I had my nephew and niece sitting there, Paula in Asia, and my nephews and nieces who are in Brazil right now. And we all had a big family gathering in our apartment in Bogota. And I said, listen, in Spanish, I spoke in Spanish. I said, listen, in 2 weeks, in 10 days, Karina is going to be leaving Colombia. You won't see her probably for 3, maybe 4 years. Are you guys all good with that? And everybody's like, well, that kind of sucks. I said, it does. But I'm telling you up front that when Karina comes to America, we're not going anywhere until she's a citizen of the United States. So that the paperwork is so smooth when she applies for U.S. citizenship, there's no hang-ups with her leaving the country for a vacation. What happened, you could leave the United States on a 2-year green card and come back after 2 weeks, and the Border Patrol officer says, I'm going to deny you entry. He or she can deny you entry on a 2-year green card and say, no, you can't come back in. They can do it. Advanced parole is the same thing. If you get an advanced parole document, that means you can travel without your green card while it's in process, the Border Patrol can block you from coming back in if you don't have a good, valid reason why you left the United States. Okay? So we both know this process is difficult, especially on the families. Karina, she wants to see her mom. She wants to see her sister. She misses her brothers and her nieces and nephews. Well, I do too, but it is what it is. So we had the big family gathering, and we sat around the dinner table, and I gave them the rundown. I said, look, Karina's going to leave Colombia. She hasn't seen her mom, for in a while. She's not going to see her family for maybe 3 or 4 years. Are you guys okay with that? They said, well, not really. And I said, but it's the process. Tell me now. And I talked to Karina. I said, Karina, if you tell me now, if you can't handle that, then maybe I should just come live in Colombia. We get married in Bogota, and we buy a place in Colombia and live in Colombia. I mean, I'd much rather be in America, obviously, but I didn't want to be separated from her. Karina said, no, I'm good. I said, okay. So we had a vote. Okay. Colombia is a republic, like the United States. We're a republic. We had a vote at the dinner table. I said, okay, raise your hand if you can handle if you're not seeing Karina for the next 3.5 years. If you can handle it, if you can deal with it mentally, emotionally. They were, okay, we're good. Okay, good. So we settled it at the dinner table. This is going to be a long process. Remember, I was living with Karina in Colombia for 3 years. Okay, so I was basically used to being around her family all the freaking time, which was good for me. I was so used to going over to my brother-in-law's house for dinner and for arepas and for Venezuelan food and Colombian food and Brazilian food. I got used to it, but I knew the time was coming where I was going to leave Colombia and come back to my house, which my friend was taking care of. So it's 2:00 in the morning at El Dorado International Airport. 2 a.m. in the morning. We're getting our suitcase checked in to Avianca Airlines, and her brother. There was 5 brothers at the airport with us. Okay, one of her brothers, who I always considered was the strongest in the family. I always considered him as like the cornerstone of the pyramid, right? Well, he started breaking down, crying. It was like, I'm like, dude, we went through this already. He was crying and crying. So I bought everybody donuts and coffee at the restaurant in El Dorado Airport, and he, calmed down. But you got to understand, you're coming to America to live. This is your country. You're going to say goodbye to your old country and start a new life in your new country. I'm not saying you should forget where you came from. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to start becoming American. Learn about the history of our country. Learn the Constitution. Learn about our government. Learn the difference between a Republican and a Democrat and an independent. What's the difference between them? Okay, learn. Because your focus when you get to the United States is your 10-year green card and U.S. citizenship. Your focus shouldn't be on, man, I got to go back to Colombia and visit everybody. Your mind should be on becoming a citizen. When you become a citizen, you get one of the most powerful passports in the world. The only place you can't travel on U.S. passport is North Korea. I think there's a few other countries. Okay? So just take my advice. If you're going to go through, if you haven't started a K-1 visa process yet, you need to talk to your beneficiary in her country, wherever she lives. I don't care what country it is, and fly to that country and meet with their family and say, look, I'm taking your daughter away from your country, from your village, from your city, from your town. It's going to be a long time before you see her again. Does grandma have any, is she good? Is she in good health? What if you come to the United States? This is a true story. The guy brought his fiancee to the United States after waiting for 20 months for the K-1 visa to get approved during COVID. She arrived in the United States. They got all their wedding plans together already from a year in the past. And then her grandmother called her up and said, I don't think I have much time left to live. Well, blood is blood, right? Blood is blood. She got on a plane and flew back home. That K-1 visa is good for one direction only, to enter the United States of America. The K-1 visa is a visa to enter the USA one time, one direction. She left before they filed for the adjustment of status. She didn't apply for advanced parole. Nothing. She left the United States. Her K-1 visa is already gone, terminated. Then an I-94 was generated that she left the United States because they looked at her passport. An I-94 was generated, she entered. An I-94 was generated, she left. Her K-1 visa became invalid. So they had to refile the whole thing over again because her grandma got sick. And then grandma had a miraculous recovery. I guess, I don't know, maybe the Blessed Mother Mary, whatever, came down and all of a sudden there's nothing wrong with grandma. Their whole life was screwed up for another 2 years. If you're going to come to the United States, when you get off the plane, just put it in your mind, this is where you're going to be for the next 3 years. Plus, let me see. So H. Money, after 3 years, after being issued the 2-year green card from the issue date, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Howard A., okay, thanks. H. Money, yes. Frank Valdez, my wife, Melly, just received her green card. Well, excellent. Thank you, Diego. I filled out the 485 form using your video. Well, that's great. I made the 485 process so simple, okay, that you can do this without paying an immigration attorney, without paying these companies to do it for you. But I'm happy. I'm so glad to hear that good news. Okay, Frank, that's good news. H. Money, that makes sense. Thank you. Is it bad to visit home before citizenship? No. If you miss home that much and you got to go back to your home place where you were born or whatever, because you missed somebody or you missed the village or you missed the city or the favorite restaurant, just go for a 2-week vacation. Okay? But remember, when you move to the United States, this is your new home. This is your country now. The green card isn't a tourist visa to travel back and forth between your home country and the United States. The green card is a permanent residency card. It means you can live in America permanently, as long as you obey the laws of this country. It's not, oh, I got to go see grandma. The green card isn't a visa. It's a document that says you can live and work in the United States. That's it. That's what it is. And is it bad to visit home before citizenship? No, you can go, if you want to take a vacation, you can do that. I just don't recommend it, because there was one person 2 years ago on the channel. I met up with them in Colombia. I said, what are you doing here? Oh, well, I miss my mom. I miss my sister. I miss my friends. Well, where's your husband? Oh, he's with me. Okay. Well, how long are you staying in Colombia? Well, I figured I'll stay for 6 months. I said, don't do that, because your green card will be terminated. Don't do that. 6 months? I said, yeah. 6 months to a year. Past a year, it's definitely gone. So the next day, they got on a plane and flew back to the United States after being in Colombia for 3 weeks. I saved her from losing her green card. By the lucky chance, we were in Bogota at the same. They recognized me from this channel. So, anyway. H. Money, I think I messed up, Diego. Well, how do you mean you messed up? Let's fix it. What did you do wrong? How can I fix it? Tell me what you did and we'll fix it right here. The Mountain Nomads. Okay, she sent me the 2023 tax return. There you go. Thank you, Diego. That could have gone wrong going to the interview without it. It would have gone wrong. Here's what would have happened, Mountain Nomads. They would have said, where's your 2023? Do you have your 2024 tax? No, I don't have my 2024 tax return. It's too early. Where's your 2023 tax return? Here it is. If you didn't have it, you would have went into a 221G hold. Then you would have called your U.S. citizen sponsor. I need your 2023 tax return. She would have emailed it to you. And then you would have got it the next day. And then you would have given it to the embassy. You would have emailed it, uploaded it to the embassy. And then you would have waited for about a month or two before they adjudicated your K-1 visa. You would have been 2 months in Casablanca more than you should be. So I just saved you a bunch of headaches. Vimy Lawler. Hey, hello, Diego. One of my friends got an I-130 approved and still in process, waiting for the interview. That's a family of spousal. But she said she's coming to visit her husband as a spousal visa. Can she? I think she'd better wait. Listen, Vimy, this is an I-130 is a spousal visa. okay, or bringing mom to the United States, whatever. She can come to the United States on a vacation. That's no problem, but she has to get a tourist visa. That's no problem. But once she enters the United, she can do that if the country is not like a long waiting list for a tourist visa. But then she has to print the I-94 when she entered the United States. Then she has to print the I-94 when she left the United States, and she's got to bring the two I-94s to the visa interview for her green card, for a spousal visa. She can do that. It's all good. Let me see. Kristen Amo. Oh, you said Vimy Lola, it's better that she wait? I would say so. It's better just to wait it out. Okay? But if she can't wait, she can come here on a vacation. But remember, it's going to create work. You got to print I-94s, entering and leaving the United States. And those I-94s have to be included in the when they go to the visa interview for the spousal visa, for the green card. Chris and Emma, any changes on the work permit green card processing times? It's still moving pretty quick, moving along, no problems, no updates. The only update I will give you guys on immigrating to the United States is this: do it legally. That's it. Do it the right way. Then you won't have any issues. Karina's my wife from Venezuela. She's making, friends. She's at work. She's happy camper. She's doing great. She doesn't worry about looking over her shoulder for immigration or for ICE raids because she's a legal permanent resident of the United States. And she plans on living here, staying here. And when she's a U.S. citizen, gets her passport, U.S. passport, then we go to Colombia for a vacation. But the difference is this: we'll be maxed out. The longest we can stay in Colombia will be 90 days on a Colombian tourist visa. Okay, so we can go for 3 months without Karina worrying about getting blocked at the Border Patrol trying to return to the USA in Miami. Vimy Lola, she can visit, yes, but Border Patrol will automatically know she is in the process and might have a lot of questions. They will. They'll have a bunch of questions. Most definitely. And as long as she stays cool, calm, and collective, and shows evidence of her returning back to her home country, she won't have any problems. H. Moni, I promised my wife we would visit home once a year, but now I have second thoughts. No, don't do that. That's not a good idea about it, since they affect her citizenship application in the future. It will. Think about this, right? You're an immigration officer. You're trying to adjudicate somebody for U.S. citizenship. And if you see that they've been flying back and forth to their home country every freaking year or every 6 months, then the immigration officer is going to say, well, you're not totally loyal to the United States. Not yet. So I'm going to deny you U.S. citizenship, apply again in another year or 2 years. Okay? When you come to America, you come in here to live. You come in here to work. You come in here to build a future with your husband or wife. You're not coming here to be a tourist flying back and forth to your home country. When you become a citizen of the United States, then the Border Patrol couldn't care less if you go on a 6-month trip around South America. I want to go see the Nazca lines in Peru. I want to take Karina to Peru and see the Nazca lines. But I'm not going to do that until she's a citizen. I want to take Karina to England to see the Tower of London and eat fish and chips in London. I want to take Karina to the Philippines and go to Cebu and go see the whales down. There's a whales. You can go see whales in the Philippines. I want to take her to New Zealand. I'd like to take her to Africa, not South Africa right now because it's ran by a bunch of Marxists, but maybe take her to the Ivory Coast and eat some delicious food there. But we're not going to do any of that, none of that, until she's a citizen of this country and she is a holder of a U.S. passport. So, H. Moni, my recommendation is this: don't travel until your wife becomes a citizen. It's easy for me to say that, but that's why I explained in the video that you can watch again is I brought my entire family. My family is Karina's family. They're Venezuelans. They all live in Colombia except for mom and sister and dad. They're Venezuelans. My nephew was born in Venezuela, but my niece, Paula, bless her heart, she was born in Colombia. So baby Paula, she has Venezuelan and Colombian nationality, although she's primarily Colombiana, because she was born in Colombia. Okay? I miss him. I would just love to go get on the Transmillennial or get in a taxi, go visit Karina's family, my family, take baby Paula to eat pizza in Bogota, take her to buy some shoes. But we can't do that. Not till Karina is a citizen. Let's see here. Hegemony it will only have an effect on U.S. citizenship if there's multiple trips out of the country. Then immigration doesn't have a warm, fuzzy feeling that she's loyal to this country and that she really wants to be here. Wait till she becomes citizen. Vimy Lola, she is from Canada. Oh, Canada, the 51st state of America. I'm kidding. Can you imagine if Canada became a part of the United States? Then we wouldn't have all this Border Patrol crap between the United States and Canada. We wouldn't have any of this Border Patrol crap between Alaska and Canada. The United States would become a big conglomerate, basically, and plus Greenland. I mean, I would think it's a great idea if Canada became part of the United States. I think it's a great idea. But it's up to the Canadian people if they want to do that. They get hammered with taxes you wouldn't believe. The taxes that the Canadians have to pay to that socialist President Trudeau, I think he's the illegitimate son of Castro, Fidel Castro from Cuba. In my opinion, maybe we should get Trump to get a DNA test on Trudeau when they visit with each other again. But Canadians are suffering immense economic depravity. And then the president of Canada says, well, Trump's going to put tariffs on auto sales that we sell to America. We don't need Canadian cars. We can build them here in Detroit. Why do we need to buy cars from Canada? We can build them and make them, buy them in Detroit. Canada exists because the United States basically subsidizes the whole freaking country. Seriously. So let's see, Canada becomes the 51st state. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But we love Canadians. I've got Canadian friends, okay? And they're all in. I got Canadian friends that live here in Florida. For the snowbirds, they come down here. They said, yeah, let's become a part of the United States. Get rid of all that border security and get rid of all those high taxes and that socialist dictator and become a free country. I think I'm all in. So your friends from Canada, does she need to apply for a tourist visa? Yes. If you live in Canada and you want to come to the United States, you got to apply for a tourist visa and you got to have a Canadian passport. But if Canada was part of the United States, then they wouldn't need a freaking tourist visa. They'd have a US passport instead. And the Canadian people would get richer and wealthier because Trump would eliminate all the crap taxes they got to pay. The unbelievable socialism that does not work. Socialism doesn't work. Doesn't work. Capitalism lifts people out of poverty. Look at Colombia. July 4th of 1991, Colombia copied the US Constitution and ratified it as theirs. I mean, seriously, the economy of Colombia went out the roof. People were lifted out of poverty. The emeralds that were being shipped out of Colombia, the oil, the gas, the electronics, Colombia became a republic. They copied our constitution. They ratified it July 4th, 1991. They have their Independence Day from the Spanish, I believe, is in July. Amazing. Amazing. I don't know. Trump, he's got some brilliant ideas. He's just got to get through some obstacles. Let's see. Vimy, she's from Canada. She needs a tourist visa. I thought Canadian passport can come and stay in the US without a visa for 6 months. Okay. What you need to do is have your friend watch some of these Border Patrol shows on YouTube. Okay? Watch the Border Patrol shows on YouTube and see. I don't know for sure if she can enter the United States on a Canadian passport for 6 months without a tourist visa. I don't know. I don't think so. But if she can, that's great. If you can enter the United States on a tourist visa, on your passport, on your Canadian passport for 6 months without a visa, God bless you. But honestly, it's going to generate an I-94, okay? You're a foreign national entering the United States, no matter what, it's going to generate an I-94. Find out what the rules are. She needs to probably check with the U.S. Border Patrol up there on the border with Canada. Have her call the Border Patrol and say, do I need a tour? I think you need a tourist visa. But if not, that's great. You know, I could be wrong. Like with Mexico. Now, when I went to Mexico years ago, I would just walk across the border with my U.S. passport. I didn't even need that. I had my driver's license. I had my Florida driver's license. 30 years ago, I went into Mexico and just bought some carpets and rugs and stuff from Nogales. And then I returned back into Arizona. I just showed my driver's license, immigration, Mexican immigration. Okay, señor, muy bien, muy bien. Vamos. Cruza de barrio. Sígame. Gracias. But now I don't know. Maybe it may be for Mexico too that you need a tourist visa, but I don't know. But I will maybe I'll check into that too. I'll check into that and figure it out for your friend. Okay, guys. I've been talking. But wait a second, Vimy. I think she does because she is in the process of an I-130. If she is in the process of an I-130, the Border Patrol will see that in their computers at the border. They're going to see it. Her passport. When you file for the K-1 visa, you get a blown-up copy of your beneficiary's passport in color, nice and big, so immigration can read it. You include it in the K-1 visa application. Immigration, they get it, and they load it into the computer for Homeland Security, because USCIS is basically Homeland Security. They put it in a computer, so then if she travels, it's in the computer that she's in an I-130 process. They know already. So... But I don't know about I thought you had to have a tourist visa to go from Canada to the United States. If I'm wrong, then correct me. But I'm gonna double check myself and investigate, because that's a good question. But I'm gonna make some lunch, guys. I'm pretty hungry. I think I'm gonna make something to eat. I hope you were learning new stuff today on the live stream. Karina's at work, so I'm retired basically now, so I can do this all freaking day. I can help you guys get through this process as easily and smoothly as possible. And like I said, guys, if you want me to do the entire package for you, the entire K-1 visa application, if you want me to do all your paperwork for you, okay, I'll give you my phone number. I'll give you an email address where I can make contact with you, so I can process your paperwork on my computer and email it to you, and then you can redo it. Okay, or use it and sign it, whatever. But you just got to sign up as a member. Okay, the live streams, you know, sometimes you guys throw out super chats, and we appreciate that. But if you want me to do your entire K-1 visa application or your entire green card package without you worrying about you getting a mistake in there, I'll do it for you. But just sign up as a member and I'll do it for you. Then I'll give you my phone number and email address, and I'll do the paperwork for you, the whole thing. Karina's friend Karina's friend is bringing her mom to the United States, but she wants to marry an American in Florida. So I'm going to do the whole K-1 visa application for her right here. It'll probably take me, I don't know, 2 hours to do the I-129F, make sure there's no mistakes, and then collect all of her documents, put the package together, and she will bring mom up here from Guatemala under a K-1, and I'm going to do all the paperwork. All right. If you want me to do that for you, sign up as a member. If you don't, if you just want to hang out on the live stream, then you don't have to sign up as a member. But we'll see you at the next live stream, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Really, I'm really hungry. I got to get something to eat. and we'll see you guys later.